It turns out being a miserable, censorious, po-faced neo-Marxist scold is linked to unhappiness.
Strange. Yeah. Being woke is linked to unhappiness, anxiety and depression, study finds. This is quite a confusing article. It's based in a study in Finland so he's trying to sort of apply it to America. But he asked, the reason it's confusing is, first of all, obviously, woke is a very fluid term and it means different things to different people, certainly far away from its original, and I would say noble intention of being aware of racial inequality and whatnot, and it's moved way beyond that now into, to my mind, fascism. But they asked a bunch of questions to a bunch of young people, and the questions themselves seem very contradictory because it's sort of saying here that university reading lists should include fewer white or European authors. This would be like a sort of
decolonise
theory. But then it says, one of the questions, trans women who compete with women in sports are not helping women's rights, which would arguably be an anti-woke statement. So all of these things that they have as woke statements, that I would say...
But it's not that you all have to answer always universally yes, otherwise they get the idea. But these are all true.
It's not mostly A's, mostly B's. It's not a surveying Cosmo.
That one sticks out for all the others.
You're right, it does. But generally speaking, it's about things like cultural appropriation. Can a member of a privileged group adopt features or cultural elements of a less privileged group and so on?
Yes.
They're all the different facets of the woke coin, and it's just you count them up, I suppose.
This is why this article wastes so much time defining the term woke, and actually you don't need the word, because you actually just look at the values in the survey, ignore the word. The survey says, basically, if you are paying attention to cultural injustices, you're more likely to be depressed. It's just demographics. Old people who bought a house for $1,000 and now it's worth $1 million, they tend to just bottle up the emotions, so you'll never find out about it in a survey.
I think it's just
let me finish the flip side of it, is that the young people talk about anxiety all the time, and it will manifest itself more.
Yeah, I think there is definitely an epidemic of young people who have an elevated sense of fairness or unfairness. You know, we all know that kind of feeling of hot tears of injustice burning your cheeks, you know, where it's not fair. This has been weaponised, activated to a monstrous extent. At a time in history, it's nothing to do with the fact that they can't buy a house for £1,000. It's to do... The irony, the paradox is that there has never been a time in history when opportunity was more widely distributed, when legal rights were more widely and uniformly protected. All of the things which people see are the results of the universe not being fair, and yet they feel that they are living in an era when unfairness. That is a recipe for mental illness. That is a recipe for disaster.
But also your point explains why they should be happy. This survey looks at the fact that they have anxiety, and I think if you spend your life paying more attention to anxiety rather than another group who rather not bottles it up necessarily, but doesn't fixate on it, it will manifest itself in your life more.
See, I've got a different theory, that they're all stupid.
They are finished. Coddling of the American Mind, which I recommend on an almost monthly basis on this show.